I've got to confront you. I know in the absence of John Studd and King Kong Bundy, how do you get yourself in this kind of a mess? A handicap match with Hillbilly Jim and Andre the Giant, two men facing three. Big John Studd, King Kong Bundy, and yourself. You aren't.
Well,
you're nervous, aren't you?
No, I'm not nervous. I just want to collect my thoughts and make sure everything I say is understood properly. Because it's obvious the World Wrestling Federation here doesn't listen to me, and they don't care about me. Yes, I am a gifted athlete and a wrestler, but I don't particularly care to wrestle, and they know that. The whole thing is between Andre and the Hillbilly and Studd and Bundy. And just because some goon at 7'4" and 500 pounds and some dumb hick from Mud Lick put their two heads together with an IQ of 10, they want me in the ring. They want to get their hands on Studd. They want to pick up that money for a slam. They want to get rid of Bundy because they're jealous of his size and massiveness. And they want to get rid of me because they're jealous of me. My whole life, everybody's been jealous of me. Everybody's been worried about me my whole life. They've done this to me. They've done this to me. Don't you call me Weasel either, pal.
No, I didn't. I said you're paranoid.
No, you called me Weasel, and I heard you.
I said you're trying to weasel out of this match.
No, I didn't try to weasel out. I just don't want to have anything to do with this match. I want to sit down that chair. I want to guide my men. I don't want to get in there. I don't want some guy 7'4" putting his dirty, filthy hands on me. I don't want some hillbilly putting his dirty farm hands on me. But I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And you think it's a handicap because there's two of you against three of us. It's a handicap in your part. Because, Andre, you were carried out of the Maple Leaf Guards in Toronto. And Hillbilly Jim, you thought you stole the Manager of the Year award from me and gave it to Albano. And you didn't, because I'm Manager of the Year. And they carried you out of there, too, after that. They carried out Albano. And I'm going to guarantee you something. Thursday, on the 12th of December, they better not bring any ambulances there to the Oakland Coliseum. They better bring some big dumpster trucks where they haul the garbage out. Because that's what they're going to carry Andre out of there with and the Hillbilly. Because Studd and I and Bundy are walking out of there. And don't you call me Weasel. Somebody's just calling me Weasel here. Weasel. Somebody's calling me Weasel.
It must be from behind there. Fans, go listen in Oakland on the 12th. Weasel!
We had a whole lot of superstars on this stage here tonight. But I want y'all to know one thing. This is my house. And when I say who's house,
word attack skills and vocabulary too. Cover hits in the disc edition is all brand new. You're through. I'm interplanetary like Doctor Who. So who?
Fuck your beef, no relief. I step on stage, girls scream like I'm Keith.
What's up, everybody? Even a day earlier, it's Ringtime Pro Wrestling. Keith and Keisha in the building. Keisha, say hi to the people.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday and all of that good stuff. Keisha is just a little bit out of it today, so you have to excuse me. I'll be screaming at everybody here today. I mean, he won't want to hear all that loudness all the time anyway. So, you know. I'm taking a break from him.
Do not be confused. You do not have to adjust your audio dial. Your download came special to you for you subscribers and a day early because we got a busy weekend, man. So we had to, as a family, decide what to do. So we said, yo, we're going to give you this heat a day early. That way you have it going into your weekend. I think it's going to give you enough time to really digest No Mercy, right? And really pick apart what we're saying about this pay-per-view. Also, Keith, these shows becoming more and more frequent. It used to have like a 7-day gap between episodes. I mean, I think we probably dropped 3 episodes in the last 8 or 9 days. Like, we are providing some high-quality audio content out there in these streets. But we're going to go with this show. I'm going to start it on a little bit of a somber note. As many of you know, on Sunday, we lost a great legend in the world of professional wrestling. One Bobby The Brain Heenan passed away. Depending on your age group or who you are, some of you know of Heenan. You've heard of the legend. But, Keish, there was nothing like the Brain.
Yes, sir.
Nothing like the Brain. Nothing like the Brain. Okay. A lot of people have been throwing out greatest manager of all time. I don't even think that needs to be said, right? To the point of when we talk about who's the greatest managers, bro, if you're not starting with Bobby Heenan, I don't even want to listen to you. And that's
right.
There's no disrespect to any of the great managers, right? I think what Paul Heyman does is amazing, Keish. I think Jim Cornette is one of the greatest WrestleMasters to ever be in the business. But there's nothing like the Brain. One thing I feel very fortunate to have done since I've been doing this kind of work is going backwards, right? So, like, Keish, somebody your age, for you, when you go back, you dig into like the early to mid 80s, because, I mean, you was born in 88, 87, I'm sorry. But Jessica was 88. So you go back, you dig, and you're like, oh, wow, snap, that was cracking? Oh, this is why people care so much about this, right? Well, Keish, I get to go back with Heenan, and I start going back to the 70s, right? And there's this just wealth of AWA stuff. Because a lot of people don't know. The AWA, man, I'm going to tell you, Vern Gagne, that late 70s, early 80s AWA roster, if he would have knew what to do with it and really popped it off, we'd be talking about the AWA still, right?
Right.
But Vince came along, and Vince had the bread, Vince had the vision, Vince was doing some things that was a little crazy, and I think Vern didn't catch on till later either. I'm telling you, that late, like I said, 70s, early 80s AWA roster, those are the dudes that make up, like I say, all the dudes. They are a good core of the guys who make up like the early WrestleMania era, right? Hogan comes out of that AWA clique. Mean Gene Okerlund comes from that AWA. Jesse Divided Ventura comes from the AWA. Bobby the Brain Heenan, right? Like, you really lean on this. I don't count Andre because everybody used Andre, right? Like, Andre was just, for Vince to lock down Andre later was just the cool, because it was like everybody had Andre. So I can blame every organization for losing Andre, because everybody had a shot at Andre, because that's what you did. Like, through the territory era, you shared Andre, right? Because it was like, hey, I can't have this guy around all the time because he's an attraction and he's special, and you can't have a 7'5", 500-pound guy around and nobody wonder like why he ain't challenging for the world title, right?
Right.
Because at that point, it was conscious that you kept Andre out of the title picture, because, like, a large part of the sport was believability, right? And people think it is real. If Andre ever got the belt, you could never sell him losing it. Like, who the fuck is gonna beat this dude?
Right.
Like, you can't have a bad night. I mean, just because 7'5" is gonna show up every day. But yeah, okay. But let's get back to Bobby. Greatest manager, understatement. Clear and away. One of my favorite things to point to with Bobby is WrestleMania 3, for a few reasons. One, Andre the Giant was the most beloved figure in the history of wrestling at this point. So understand, even after the turn, I don't think a lot of people just left Andre hanging. Like, that he is the guy who changed the business, right? He is the guy who took it from like little arenas to like the big time. Like, that's on Andre's back. Hogan is the up and comer. The myth and the magic of Hulk Hogan as the official man, and this is like where the business makes that change, where we really pass a torch. This is the biggest stage that you're going to need to pass this torch. And it officially goes from one guy to the next. Keish, you needed Bobby Heenan to make that pop. As I wrote a couple of days ago for the website, you still need the juice of Bobby Heenan, even with those two outsized reputations, right? So there's that. Name a guy that you don't associate with the Heenan family that didn't get better or didn't enhance his rep. He's just the greatest roster of all time. If you go dude for dude, like, all right, if I say he claiming Rick Rude, right? If I say he's claiming Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, King Kong Bundy, Big John Studd, Andre, Haku, Keish, who am I naming that's not a Hall of Fame already? The Brain Busters. You know what I'm saying? With the Brain Busters, for some of you who don't know, that's what Arn and Tully did a brief run in WWE. Keish, they tried to stick that man with the Red Rooster, and it didn't sully his reputation. God. Yeah. Terry Taylor, a.k.a. the Red Rooster, was a Bobby Heenan guy, and it didn't mess up Bobby's reputation. Which, here's the thing. There's a lot of things that went wrong with the Red Rooster. But like I said, Bobby always found a way to make it work.
Right.
No matter who he was with, he always made it work. Man, look, Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi was just nothing but a job guy. You know what I mean? Got a little Heenan family swag on him. And he became something. Not a lot, but something.
Right.
There's always, man, look, everybody wanted to be associated with this dude. So, like he said, he was the standard for the heels, okay? The world champ was always fighting a Heenan family guy. If he was a babyface world champ, which most of the time it was in the 80s and 90s, right? Move on. He stops managing full time. Keisha only gets more entertaining because now he's in the broadcast booth. And he has some of the greatest calls of all time. Man, the funniest one, which he makes you laugh at things that you shouldn't laugh at. Keisha, I'm not supposed to laugh at Marty Jannetty going through that glass window in the barbershop.
Actually, that was kind of fun. But, technically, you're not supposed to laugh at that piece.
No, you're not. But with the dude on commentary, one flip-flops like he did say something a minute ago, like, oh, wow, well, they're back together. They need each other. The one guy kicks the other guy. That's right. You don't need him. Okay, that's funny. Right? Then when one guy throws the other guy through the glass window, the guy with the mic says, oh, wow, Jannetty wanted to get away so bad he jumped through the window. Keish, there's a level of humor there that you just cannot pass up. His famous line, calling people humanoids, something I take with me every day to work. You ham and eggers. I look, man. He's never missing a line.
Right.
He talking to Gorilla, and the partnership with Gorilla Monsoon was gold, Keish. Him and Gorilla up there cracking right now. Dude, that was so money. It was like, yo. One time I'm watching primetime wrestling, he like, well, people concerned about you, Bobby, da-da-da. He was like, yes. I got so much fan mail, my mailman is hunchback. Like, he never misses a beat. The dude was incredible. I think he could have transcended sports entertainment. One thing they said, Vince even said that in his WWE bio, which I implore you people to watch. There's the Beyond the Ring for Bobby Heenan is probably one of the amazing pieces of work the WWE has ever done. Talk about his life growing up in Chicago, growing up rough, trying to provide for his family at a young age, getting involved in the business. A lot of people don't know he broke in as a wrestler, transitioned to manager. Even his AWA resume, Keish, they all Hall of Famers. He managed the Blackjacks, which, if you don't know who the Blackjacks is, that's Blackjack Mulligan and Blackjack Lanza. Blackjack Mulligan, for you young people, is the dad to Barry Windham and Kendall Windham, but he also had a daughter. His daughter married Mike Rotundo, a.k.a. RRS. They end up having 2 kids. Those kids are Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt. So, just to tie it all together. You know what I'm saying? That's
figure, right?
That's the legacy. But yeah, so that's the Blackjacks. He moves on to another legendary tag team, Bockwinkel and Stevens. If you want to watch some classic wrestling and some classic work, man, Bockwinkel and Stevens is the tag team. Which I don't know if Bockwinkel and Stevens is greater than Stevens and Patterson, but it's still okay. Then Nick Bockwinkel's solo career, where he wins like the AWA title multiple times. Legend who passed away recently too. Keish.
Yeah.
You would think somebody like Nick Bockwinkel doesn't need a mouthpiece. Remember when CM Punk had Paul Heyman? And you was like, I mean, CM Punk don't need nobody else talking. Hey, Bockwinkel didn't need nobody else talking, but having Heenan still made that shit work. And it still popped even harder. Because, you know, Bockwinkel will hit you with them like $5 words. Like, Bockwinkel will hit you with them SAT words. But then Heenan will come back and still work it out. Like, you believed in him as a manager. Like, with the managers today, I know they're characters who, like, you know, manage the guys outside the ring and da-da-da. Man, when with Heenan, I believed he was a manager. I believed, like, oh, shoot. So he making sure the check's right. You know what I mean? He out here booking, like, autograph signings. Like, I just think this is what this dude doing. Because he gave that presence. And, you know, a smart person, I appreciate the Brain as a character. And one thing I appreciate, and I always appreciate for this man, is that he gave it his heart to entertain the fans. I mean, Keish, the Weasel suit, which he started at AWA but brought to WWE. The Weasel suit, because fans will call it Weasel. They filed a Weasel suit, and hey, there might be a match or something. Bobby gets knocked out and wakes up and that Weasel suit is on. And he sold that shit 100%. Like, you believed all of this. Like, it was like, oh, wow, he is going crazy in that Weasel suit. Right. And the fans chanting Weasel. Like, it was just crazy. But, like, he gave it up. He took a lot of bumps. He always paid off that heel manager. The babyface at the end could get his hands on the heel manager. And everybody be like, oh, snap. And Bobby took some crazy bumps. Once again, was an ex-wrestler. Took some crazy bumps. But it's all for entertaining the fans. I mean, so just saying that he'll be appreciated, he'll be missed, and with that, man, let's get this show rolling. Raw, Keish, did it make you want to invest in a pay-per-view? Hypothetically, imaginary world, no WWE Network. Did this make you want to buy a pay-per-view?
Yeah, you're right about that.
Like, does it make you want to buy the pay-per-view, or did you say, you know what, I'll catch it somewhere?
You know, it makes me want to kind of just catch it somewhere. Like, you know, I think it would be one of those things where it's like, I think I can watch this later, you know, as opposed to being like, yeah, I gotta watch that right now. That's pretty much where I'm at. So, I mean, I don't know what else to really put in there about that. If you want the honesty, that's pretty much where I'm at. It's like, I mean, how can you not be that way right now? You know? And the description makes you just going to be like, yeah, I don't think that applies here. So, where are you at right now with this, Keith?
Okay. Here's the thing. there's two matches I absolutely have to see, and then everything else is just like, right?
Right.
So, Reigns Cena, I have to see it just because I got to see how this falls out, right?
Right.
From there, Strowman, Lesnar, because I got to see how this plays out. Like, I don't, as much as dominant as we sold Strowman, that I'm not giving up on Lesnar. I'm not thinking that Lesnar's going to lose. I'll get into that more in the preview, but like, I'm not giving up on Brock. Like, legit badass Brock Lesnar? Nah, man.
Right.
So, you know, that's just how it rolls. But, you know, we'll talk about it a little bit more later on in the show. So Kurt Angle comes out, starts to show off, and starts talking, and gets interrupted by the Miz.
All right.
Not the greatest promo work that I've seen in a while, but hey, man, it was good. Got some questions, and I get to them in a minute. They go back and forth because we got to set up a match for Miz. We got to set up a match for No Mercy because Miz is not booked for No Mercy, which is a little lazy WWE booking. Like, we didn't have it set in stone already that who he was facing at No Mercy.
Right.
But they put it together. They put together the challenge match, which was a fatal 4-way, which they later turned into a 6-pack challenge to see who's going to be the number one contender. Jason Jordan was in the match. Miz and Angle go back about, you know, Angle being a deadbeat dad, and Miz talking down to him because Miz still got to heal it up, right? Miz is working hard,
Right.
still trying to stay a heel, but Keisha, I don't think it's working. This is what I'm saying. Because the baby faces y'all got are so fucking unlikable that he goes down and shoots on them, and everybody like, hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. That's the dude right there. That's the dude because he's saying that thing I be thinking. That's kind of where
Right.
we at with this.
They see everybody else, and they're just kind of like, like, yeah, right. But then they see Miz, it's kind of like, yay and boo at the same time because they're supposed to hate him, but they don't. Like, nobody hates them. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Nope.
It just is.
No, in my head I'm thinking nobody hates the Miz. Funny, but so that's where we are, man. That's
Right.
where we are. But yo, so he does that, and then Jason Jordan comes down. Jason Jordan is mad, and he says, "Yo, say one more thing about Kurt, I will blast you." Jason Jordan goes off because Miz says something, beats up the whole Miz Taraj, and Kurt just standing there. And this is my
Right.
thing, Keisha. I kind of want to see somebody in the ankle lock.
Yeah, right? Can we get an angle slam or something? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
action.
okay. If not that, at least Kurt Angle's still Kurt Angle. And I still
Right.
think there's some juice in Kurt Angle. 3 dudes jumping your son and you just standing there? Like, what kind of
Right.
bullshit are we selling? Now, your son fights all of them off, which I don't think does anything for anybody there, but you didn't quite think. I mean, like, look, once Bo tried to grab him, you throw Bo Dallas out. Then he can handle Axel. So you got to put your hands on one. And then it's just them standing there together.
Exactly.
'Cause-
Like, it would make more sense for it to be that way. Because you're right. Yeah, you know this man is your son. And this is not nothing that is a foreign information to you anymore. Why would you not help him? Like, I'm pretty sure that any other father would have just been like, would have jumped in and did something. Like, he did nothing. Like, come on, Kurt. Be for real. Like, do better, dude. Do better. I don't know. I just can't. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't make sense to me either, Key. It didn't make sense to me either. Oh, what the hell? Are you going to do something? Like, are you going to help?
They're beating your son.
I understand.
I'm sorry. But you know, it is what it is. So we get a match set up for the next number one contender. Nia Jax defeats Alexa Bliss in a singles match. That was not a title. That just kind of was a warm up for the weekend. Alexa tried to run away, and Sasha Banks prevented that. Then Sasha Banks decided she was going to get in there after the match and run up on Nia Jax, which probably was a bad decision.
That was just done.
But Bayley makes her return.
Woo!
I guess the shoulder's healthy, man. And she evens up to score and gets people out of the ring. Observation made by somebody in my household that, wow, Bayley has thick thighs. I did not notice. It wasn't made by me. It was made by a little kid who was like, oh, wow, Bayley's thighs are thick. And I'm like,
wait a minute. What?
yeah, that's just an observation. Like, Bayley has thick thighs. I was like, yes, Bayley does have thick thighs.
Okay, Keith. How
Wow.
can you respond to that?
No, I didn't respond. No, I didn't respond then. I'm responding now when it's still inappropriate. It's still wholly inappropriate, but it's, I must agree. I was like, that's, like, you know.
Of course you do.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, that's, how did I miss such a thing? But I digress.
Awful. Awful.
Don't blame me. Blame Bayley. She didn't want to do a squats or something. So they had a moment, and I thought Bayley was going to do a belly to Bayley to Sasha Keish. They was in the ring and they was hugging and bouncing around her. I was like, if she suplex her ass, this shit would go nuts. Why do I want Bayley to turn? Why? Because I think Sasha's the obvious turn. Why do I want Bayley to turn?
Thank you, Keith. I'm glad you said it before I said it. That's why you want Bayley to turn, because Sasha's too obvious. Think about it. No one expects Bayley to turn. Everybody wants Bayley to turn. Like, it's not even a question of do we want it. It's a question of, like, will they make it happen? Sasha, of course, can turn in the blink of an eye, literally. So, of course, nobody's expecting her to turn. Like, no one's really wanting that. Everybody likes Sasha just the way she is. You know, it really wouldn't matter for Sasha. But for Bayley, come on now. Think about it. Bayley. I give hugs. I love Hugs Bayley. Like, I come out to Wacky Inflatable 2 Men. Bayley. You know, my ponytail swings to the side, and I love all the little kids, Bayley. Bayley. If Bayley did a heel turn right now, it would be the biggest thing to talk about for, like, weeks. You know? It would last forever. Like, it would be etched in just great history. Like, Bayley, because you know what's funny, Keith? I think Bayley would make a great heel. I do. I think that Bayley is fully capable of being a great heel, because how many times have we seen Bayley be a heel even in NXT? 0. Nada. Nothing. So, why not turn her heel? Give her something for her career that she's never gotten before. You know? That's just me, though. That's just me.
Yeah.
But I think that might explain it. Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't. Just something in me, man, would like to see that turn. Sheamus and Cesaro defeat the club. And Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins in a triple threat match. Keish, I thought it was a good match, but I thought they gave away a lot. I thought they could have held that match that same triple threat match over for Sunday.
Right.
But it's not going to be a triple threat. It's going to be Rollins and Ambrose against Sheamus and Cesaro. And I just think, hey man, they could have the space and all the stuff and the feud. They could have made that work, but they didn't.
They really could have.
They had a nice video package for Cena and Roman Reigns. They went to compare the careers of both wrestlers. And Keisha, I'm going to say this. That was whack. Here's the thing. The careers don't compare. Like, they're like, oh, they're on these parallel convergent paths. No, they're not. Nope, they're not. First of all, at this point, Cena was over like Rover, right? In his career.
Right. Of course.
Secondly, Cena was actually created by the fans. And I would give you why. Remember Ruthless Aggression, John Cena? Work didn't quite catch on, right? Remember the introduction of rapper John Cena? With his sidekick B2, a.k.a. Bull Buchanan? It took a while for that to pop, right? But did it pop because the company was pushing it? Or did it pop because it just started working? I'll tell you, it's the latter, right? It is the latter because Cena wasn't picked as the guy, right? The guy from that class is Brock Lesnar. The next guy is Randy Orton. Cena and Batista were seen as good guys, but probably just going to be, we'll figure them out. Brock leaves eventually, but that Cena rise, man, when he puts the AAO Big Show at WrestleMania 20 and wins the United States title, you know it's on from there. Like, this is the next world champ. It's clear. It is very clear. Like, yo, this guy right here, gonna be something. So, and it takes off. You know how I know there wasn't attendant for Cena? He started out on SmackDown. He was on the B brand, right? The star takes off. They're like, this guy got to come to Raw. They swapped the champs in the draft. They was like, look, we just go take this guy. Y'all take this guy. Figure it out. So, the 16-time title, even when fans were getting tired of Cena, they still rocked with Cena, right? Like when they booing and it's like, Cena sucks, let's go Cena. The arena still has like this appeal for Cena. And it shows because I watched the doc. The merch sales said he dominated the merch sales. He said there were like 35% of the merch sales and all the other wrestlers, you know, they break down evenly, but nobody even approaches half of that. Like he's killing the merch counter. Because people rock with him. Who you see with a Roman Reigns t-shirt in the streets? Kid or adult?
That's a good question.
You haven't seen one. Your favorite Samoa dude at work don't wear a Roman Reigns t-shirt. Nah, that's okay. So, I mean, it's not really comparable. I get what they try to do. They try to make it more than it needs to be. Nobody needs to make that match more than it needs to be. Hey, man, y'all want this guy to try to get to the next level. I don't know if it's going to happen. You tried everything. You put him over The Undertaker. People not with it, B.
I'm just saying.
People not with it. Put him over Taker and WrestleMania.
They need to be.
People still not with it.
They need to try to be.
I mean, I don't know if they hate him, but they'll rock.
Yep.
That happened. Apollo Crews defeated Curt Hawkins and wins his. Curt Hawkins loses his 115th straight match. Keisha, how long does his losing streak go? I mean, I'm just saying, it seems like this thing is going to be it's going to keep rolling. But yeah, the Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman thing. Did you dig the interview? Or was it the previous? Well, I don't know. So, Jason Jordan wins the number one contendership for Raw to face the Miz, defeat the Hardys and defeat the Miz Taraj and whoever else is in that match. Miz Taraj attacks Jordan after the match. Bam, here we go. Keith, does Jason Jordan have a rat chance in hell at No Mercy?
Yes, he does. Have you seen him wrestle? Like, I really think that he does have a rat chance. Hell, I think he has more than that. But, I settle for yes, he does for right now. Because that man, I was just having this conversation the other day about how awesome he is in the ring and stuff. Like, he's Jason Jordan. So, yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I mean, I'm not saying he does it. But, we'll see. But that was it. I'm going down the list, make sure I got everything covered. All right. I think we're going to hit break. Come back, do the birthdays, do the news. The news is going to be interesting, to say the least.
Always interesting.
Yeah. Because it's kind of funny. You ever have an opinion about something and then it moves over the course of time?
What?
Oh, I'm just saying, over like the past 3 days, like my opinion on stuff kind of changed. So we'll talk about it. It's a news item, and we'll go from there.
All right.
But let's hit the break, and we'll be back. And with the break, of course, we're going to leave you with some more Bobby Heenan, because why the hell not? Will we not leave you with some more Bobby Heenan? So I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to drop. All right. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Cow Palace, this is one you will not want to miss. Teddy Robinson talking about this one here in the Bay Area. Bobby Heenan, I'm certain you're going to have something to say about this very unusual, this very unique match. You've got 6 men in the ring at one time. Yes, managers will be in the corners. And you've got Steamboat Junkyard Dog Tito Santana facing the Natural Butch Reed, the Macho Man Randy Savage, and your self-proclaimed king of wrestling, Harley Race.
You're talking about the Cow Palace. Now, any facility all over the world is either known as the Superdome, Pontiac Silverdome, the Cow Palace. Did they name it after the ladies that work here?
Wait a minute. There is tremendous tradition in that great facility.
Oh, that's
Please.
right. If you can go moo, you can get in for half price, I guess, huh? See what this is.
Cow Palace, this is one you will not want to miss. Teddy Robinson talking about this one here in the Bay Area. Bobby Heenan, I'm certain you're going to have something to say about this very unusual, this very unique match. You've got 6 men in the ring at one time. Yes, managers will be in the corners. And you've got Steamboat Junkyard Dog Tito Santana facing the Natural Butch Reed, the Macho Man Randy Savage, and your self-proclaimed king of wrestling, Harley Race.
You're talking about...
I vividly recall in the signing of the contract for your title shot at Hulk Hogan in WrestleMania 3, you said you taught Hogan a lot, but you had still one more lesson to give him in the final chapter in that big title match at the Silverdome in Pontiac on the 29th.
You want to talk to somebody? You talk to me. He's going to do all his talking in the ring. You talk to me. You want to talk about the final chapter? I'll be glad to talk about the final chapter. The final chapter in the life and history and the career of Hulk Hogan. See, because it's over, Hogan. I know it, you know it, everybody knows it. You had 3 good years, you can't laugh at that. You were lucky, you made some money, you got a cartoon, you got some dolls, you rode good, you had it good. But you know you can't beat this man. toughest man in the world. Nobody can beat this man. You think with all that blonde hair and a bunch of little Hulksters out there and behind you, you ripping that T-shirt off and shaking in your pythons, you think you can beat him, dummy? It can't be done by you, 10 guys like you, or 100 people like you. This is the next heavyweight champion of the world. Get ready to swallow it, Hogan. It's all over.
Andre, what about that final lesson?
You don't understand, do you, dummy? I do the
I'll
talking.
conduct these interviews here if you don't mind.
Oh, maybe I will conduct them. How do you like that?
There. All right. We had a little technical difficulty, but we pulled it off. Keish, birthdays. I'm gonna go backwards today. Right? So yesterday was the 19th, Tuesday. The great Gerald Briscoe celebrated birthday. Gerald Briscoe was 71. One half of the Stooges. Also one half one of the greatest tag teams all time with his brother Jack Briscoe, former NWA World Champion. Eva Marie, who is no longer a part of the sports entertainment family, at least right now, celebrated a birthday. Eva Marie turned 33. Yeah, I got that right. Renee Young turned 32 yesterday. Shouts out to Renee. Who I do not think was a subject of that Lost Boys song, but hey, just something I throw out there. Hey, you know, Dad told me that, like, he was like, yo, he said, I've been discovering some new stuff, some 90s rap. I said, what? And he was like, yo,
Really?
I like the Lost Boys.
Wow.
Like Mr. Cheeks and them. This is a 2017 conversation I'm having with him. And it's like, wow, okay. Like, I'm very thoroughly confused. Like, how did you start stumbling back into 90s hip-hop?
Exactly.
But, you know, I guess it's that internet, right? That Pandora and stuff like that, because I will tell you, I know how it started, Keish. You probably had Pandora on, right? Your daddy put on some Tupac radio.
Of course he did.
And then it started, like, linking to other stuff from that era, and somehow he stumbled into that stuff. I'm pretty sure that's how that worked. Because your father loved some Pac.
Yeah.
To the point of one day he might have told your sister that her daddy was a thug. Not really gonna rehash the rest of that conversation, but yeah. It was a long time ago. But yeah, he loves some Pac, which is very ironic because I don't understand the relation at all. Not at all. Like, hey man, you kind of grew up a little too good to be empathizing with Pac. But that's another story for another time.
Right.
Just saying. Today, the 20th, Keish, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Hall of Famer. The second greatest figure 4 leg lock of all time. Which, I don't know. Flair might have the best figure 4. He might nudge Flair. You know why I say that? Valentine broke legs in that figure 4. Like, there's a lot of dudes came out that figure 4 limping with Valentine. Like, oh man, this dude can't wrestle next week. He on crutches.
Wow.
Like, he made you believe in that. Surly guy. But yeah, very cool. Double A, Arn Anderson celebrates a birthday. Arn Anderson is 59. One more to 60. Arn Anderson is 59. Keish. Arn still does a lot of work in the business. He is an agent with the WWE. Does a lot of the backstage stuff. I mean, that's one guy that they probably need to make sure they honor and take care of, because that guy gave his life to the business and has just always been involved, and I'm very, very highly respected. And a guy you believed. Right? Like, he was the enforcer. And even if he was in a match against bigger, more jacked up guys, stuff like that, you still believe Arn Anderson can whoop some ass. Like, that's what the people I would love to have seen back in the day when they was going to the bars and stuff. Because I think Arn Anderson probably toast people some new ones. With that, there are no more birthdays until the 23rd, which by then we probably will be recording another show. Well, no, that's actually Saturday, so we won't be recording the show. So I'll give it to you.
No.
Kira Zane. Kira Zane turns 29 on Saturday. So happy birthday. Do you realize? First, Matt Hardy will be celebrating a birthday. Matt's going to be 43 on Saturday.
Right.
Sunday, Stephanie McMahon will turn 41 at No Mercy. So they'll be popping bottles and celebrating wherever the pay-per-view is at. Yeah, buddy. But let's get into the news, which is slowly become one of my favorite segments, Keisha. So, the WWE will present Starrcade as a live event in Greensboro, North Carolina on November 25th. Keisha, I have mixed feelings about this. Very mixed.
Why, Keith? But why?
First of all, they was talking about it was going to air on WWE Network. Now, that's not a thing. It may not be aired on the WWE Network.
Right.
Secondly, them putting on Starrcade is a little slappish in the faces.
It really is.
Right? I'm going to rehash a little history of Starrcade. Starrcade is WrestleMania before WrestleMania. It is from the mind of Dusty Rhodes, the greatest mind that probably created a lot of these events. How you know it's a Dusty Rhodes creation? Because Starrcade is spelled Starrcade. Because why do you need the extra R? I don't know. But Dusty has a lot of double consonant things that he likes to work with. Starrcade was the main, like, Crockett thing. It is the predecessor to WrestleMania. Somebody saw this and thought, hey, we could do that too. So, 1983, first one, closed circuit television, because they don't even have pay-per-view at this time. Sounds like another world, but hey, work with me. They rock it and roll it. They put together one of the greatest cars ever. Boom. We off and rolling. Well, WWE starts WrestleMania, right? Not a big deal later on. But then when WrestleMania catches fire, WWE says, we need another big pay-per-view. They have Survivor Series. Now, every year, Starrcade aired around Thanksgiving. It was a Thanksgiving classic. Why? Because it's based off the territory system, right? Back in the day, the territories were built to these huge shows for Thanksgiving. And that's where they would draw a big house at these huge arenas and make a lot of money. So that's how they roll. So WWE decided, look, we going to have Survivor Series and we going to air it on Thanksgiving. Now, the problem is that pay-per-view isn't like it is today, right?
Yeah, you're right about that.
See, today, you
You're
got
so right about that.
all the technology. So it would have been competing pay-per-views, but they would have ran both of them, right? The cable company would have said to trade, because you might be watching one or the other, and even if you weren't interested, now you go watch one or the other because shit, you tried to be a part of the mix.
Right.
At that time,
right.
that wasn't what's cracking. At that time, Keith, they had to air one or the other. So, because all this video on demand shit y'all young people got, that wasn't really what was cracking in the mid-'80s. Like, for us growing up in Michigan, Channel 28 was pay-per-view, right? And basically, they aired movies throughout the week. So these were the movies that weren't quite on video yet, or on video, but hadn't quite, you know what I mean, whatever. So instead of paying the money to go to Blockbuster, you could just pay the money, like the $3 on your cable bill, and you could watch this movie, right? You had to call it in, because it was on internet, so you had to call it in, and you order it. And they put it on your thing. You got to call it in because they had technology where you could order it from your remote. Okay. That's how old school we talking. So, on nights where they would be boxing or wrestling or something like that, Keish, they wouldn't be showing movies that night. They would show the pay-per-view and the replay of the pay-per-view. So if you were trying to watch Terminator, no, not tonight. Catch it on Tuesday. They were showing the pay-per-view. So WWF put them in a spot where they said you got to choose. And of course, they probably will still go run Starrcade because that was going to be a big money maker. This new thing we don't know about. You know what they told them? If you do this, we're not going to give you WrestleMania. Power move, because guess what? WrestleMania still could have survived on closed circuit television because a lot of people were still using that. And I'm not going to get into technology closed circuit television, but that forced Starrcade to move to Christmas. So WWE running Starrcade is like a little sacrilegious. But all this did give us the birth of Clash of the Champions also, Keish. So that rivalry is kind of cool. Because, you know what the WCW did to counteract that malicious event? In '88, they created the first Clash of the Champions and ran on TBS as a free event the same night as WrestleMania. Which, hey man, when you from a broke family, hey, you like, shit, I'm not going to pay $50 for that. You kids, why don't y'all watch this free wrestling? But anyway, it might be a little sacrilegious to run it Starrcade. Also, after Dusty died, I don't think. If y'all was going to ever run Starrcade, y'all should at least run it when Dusty was around. And let Dusty book the event. Card be damned. Like, I literally want to look, just like if they do air it, I want it to look like a Crockett pay-per-view. I almost to the point, y'all need to go pay Jim Crockett to license. I don't even think I got to pay him because I think they own all the copyrights anyway. Hey man, y'all need to put JCP in the middle of the ring. Y'all need to make this thing so Greensboro. But they gonna do it with one of the brands, and I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about all of that. Very mixed feelings. Because on one part I'm excited, one part I'm not. Now, what would be awesome, they are speculating that, because Cody Rhodes expressed his opinion on it, and he wasn't happy. That was Brandy Rhodes. But Michael Hayes extended an offer. Hey, why don't you come do it? If you ain't booked, why don't you come do a night with us? Do a one-off. Which I think would be awesome as hell. Ring of Honor champion shows up at a WWE event doing a one-off with his brother Goldust. Which, hey, somebody suggested today, and I agree with, not even as Goldust. Come in as the natural Dustin Rhodes. Who, I mean, he kind of did that against Bray Wyatt this week. Without the makeup, you just have to put him in, you know, outside the costume. But hey, man, let him be Dustin, and y'all can have a hell of a tag match. So, you know, something to think about. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about Starrcade. Run on the street. Paige is teasing her return to the WWE. And the WWE apparently is on board because they start releasing stuff too. So Paige could be coming back soon. Where does Paige go? Raw or SmackDown? I think wherever she goes is an instant shot in the arm, because you can't let it be known when her comeback is happening. This is one of the people who gotta just show up. Like, if she shows up at the end of any title match and, you know, puts them down, it's gonna be crazy. So it would be interesting, right? At the least. I do think though Paige would probably help Raw a little bit more because I think they're thinner. But Asuka's already coming to Raw, so I don't know which one would be.
Well, I think the combination of the two could be kind of weird. Like, because the dynamics of the two women that we're talking about is totally different from each other. The clash would be a little out there. Like, I don't know how I would feel about them both being. I think personally, they need to be separated. Like, Asuka's already coming to Raw, so why not put Paige on SmackDown or something? Right. But then it's like, okay, well, if you do that, then wouldn't it put Paige in a situation to where she might, getting slid off into the background?
Well, here's the thing.
It's really difficult to me how to handle the situation with the two.
Here's the thing. I think SmackDown has the depth on the roster, right? So that's why Asuka coming to Raw makes perfect sense. Because Raw is talented at the top, but they don't have a lot of depth in this division. Where SmackDown has the depth, but it may not be as great at the top. You know what I mean? Like, it's Charlotte. There's kind of a different pecking order. What I will say is that, yeah, I don't think I sent both of them to the same brand. Like, I think that would be overdoing it. But then I still got to find a place for Ember Moon, because I don't know if I'm bringing Ember Moon back to NXT.
Right. I can agree with that.
And just the girls in the NXT pipeline, Keish, we are looking at a crazy time in women's wrestling. To the point, I brought this up before, that the WWE consider relight their own show. Right? Think about it. The Mae Young Classic, you've discovered and found at least out of those 32 women, I'd sign 6 off the bat. Right?
Right.
There's no way Mia Yim wouldn't be signed by me. Right? And that's before the tournament.
Of course.
Before the tournament, I would say that. They already signed the runner-up, Blazer. You signed Sane. If Princessa Suhit wants to come here, not deal with, people, I'll rock with her.
Right.
But like I said, the depth is so amazing. I'd run a show weekly, right? But it'd be similar to the old school, like primetime wrestling stuff like that, like how Gorilla and Bobby used to be in the studio. They throw to a match, and it comes back to them in the studio. Then they throw to another match, and I'd have the matches booked up at different places, and then just kind of roll off of that, and just an idea. And then of course, bring different ladies in to do interviews and stuff like that. Where I'm not really messing up their travel schedule. I'm just kind of, creating something. But like an hour and a half every week, just to spotlight just them, because you can't get enough on each show of the ladies. But I think a spotlight show would be able to do that for both brands. And then, the champions will be back on their respective brand during the week. It'll go like that. But yeah, so there's that. In the news, man, all kinds of craziness is in the news. But
of course it is. It's the news.
Yeah.
Why do you think I get so apprehensive when we talk about the news?
Yeah.
I can't help that.
So, the WWE sent out a survey. I haven't read it yet.
Lord.
Because I got the email today like, hey, it's basically asking fans of the network things they'd be interested in. And I would tell you, I got somebody who actually did the survey, and they going to tell you some of the stuff that's in it, right? So here's a list of the stuff on the survey. And what if you'll be interested in. TV 14 in-ring show. A new weekly version of ECW or the edgy new promotion rated TV. They're going to call it a new promotion TV 14 with kind of an ECW kind of thing, right? Tournaments that will take place in your home country featuring local talent similar to the UK tournament, which took place in England this year. Reality shows like On the Road with WWE Superstars, Inside WWE Superstars, which is training regimens, WWE Superstar Cribs, WWE Style Apprentice to win a job at WWE, and Legends House Season 2, Attitude Era. Okay. All of these sound like bad ideas, except Legends House Season 2, Attitude Era. Because I really thought the first season of Legends House was good. Original scripted comedies such as WWE Superstar Roast, Southpaw Regional Wrestling, and the WWE's version of The Office. Okay, Southpaw Regional Wrestling, as it exists now, is freaking amazing. But only problem I would get scared with if they did like a weekly show on the network is that somebody would take it too far, right? Like they start overproducing it. Because it currently stands, I love it. Other promotions. Historic and new programming from ICW, Progress, New Japan, or other regional promotions. TNA is a part of the survey, Keish. Historic and new programming from TNA, Impact, Global Force Wrestling. Would you be interested in that on the WWE Network? They are trying to buy all the wrestling, Keish. Like, for them to open that as a consideration, they are like, look, we can buy all the wrestling. Era stuff for New Japan, they have to pay for the rights. I don't know if that would work. They have a separate question about Ring of Honor. Yes, please. Historic and new programming from Ring of Honor. I think Ring of Honor would be more like New Japan. Hey, you pay us for the rights so you can run it. And then, of course, they'll cross-promote it because they want to get some bread out of it. That sounds crazy. This survey is just, I don't know. For the first time ever, get a live ringside view of select WWE house shows. They kind of already do that when they do some of the live events on the network. But yeah, I haven't taken my survey yet. But whoa, Keish. Whoa. This could get fun. Ric Flair has done his first interview since being out the hospital. He claims he'll never drink again. Which I'm just glad the man's healthy. That's all I can really tell you about that. So, for those of you who don't know, Impact Wrestling has removed that Global Force logo from the stuff, and they have now kind of put out the new taglines and stuff like that, and whew, they kind of try to get dishes of themselves. But I see in their new logo, they got like a GFW at the top of it, so we'll see. We'll see. So we ready to talk SmackDown, because SmackDown is here. Shane McMahon addresses KO attacking his dad. Basically just setting the table for the match. Nothing more, nothing less. Randy Orton defeats Aiden English in a halfway decent match, only to have Rusev show up, or should I say Alexander Rusev, as we're starting to go by now. And Rusev beats Orton in a redemption match, which helped that Aiden English was still out there, and Orton runs into English after a failed RKO. But I guess the Rusev Orton feud is not over, and that's good, I guess, because Randy needs something to do. Jinder Mahal cuts another promo on Shinsuke Nakamura, which don't really go over that well because people are tired of that shit. I don't know. It's kind of tasteless a little bit. And it just, I don't know. It's just hard to buy. It's just hard to. I don't think that's the strength of Jinder. Like, hey, I'm the arrogant guy who got money and the title. I can roll with that. Like, Jinder should be selling himself as like an Indian JBL. Like, kind of where it should be. Making fun of Nakamura every week and how he dances and stuff like that with the Singh brothers. It doesn't make me excited to see a match. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does it make me excited to
Of
see a
course
match? AJ Styles and Baron Corbin match ends in a no contest. Baron Corbin takes shortcuts again and attacks AJ Styles, but before that could go too far, Ty Dillinger shows up. Out of all people, which, hey, fair enough, because Ty got attacked by Baron Corbin last week and beat up Baron Corbin pretty bad. And left him bad enough situation where, you know, that ankle and that leg wasn't good, and AJ stretched him out and got the win. Well, not really the win, because the match had already been kind of called out. But, yeah, so are you here for a Baron Corbin-Ty Dillinger feud? Or is it going to be a three-way feud where the United States title is hanging up there for grabs? Because there's a possibility for that, too. It was good to see Charlotte back in wrestling and see her back on TV. Which I did not know she and her dad wrote a book. I have to check out the book. But she came back and wanted to thank the universe for, you know, their prayers and da-da-da. And then Natty came out and interrupted her. And I'm going to say this. I love Natalya. I think she's very talented. I'm glad she's finally getting her shine. But somebody need to help her out with her belt. Because that shit looked very toyish. Like, it looked very much like I got the plastic version of this at the store today. Like, I don't know if they need to tighten something up or, you know, gloss it up a little bit, but
Right.
The belt just ain't looking good, man. Just not. I was just not enthused by it. I'm like, ugh. It just looked toyish, that's all. But anyway, she got to talking. Charlotte challenged her. Then it kind of got out of control because everybody wanted a piece of her. And it set up the Fatal 4-Way that was the main event. They let the ladies main event it on SmackDown. With Charlotte. Yeah, Charlotte, Naomi, Becky Lynch, and Tamina were all there to challenge to see who's going to be the new number one contender. Tamina managed by Lana. And it went pretty well. And I, you know, was impressed. It was good to see Charlotte back after not being in the ring for a while. And she could hurt people.
I love Charlotte. All the way around, I love Charlotte. I always have, always will. Like, even when I didn't like her like that. So, yeah. She's pretty awesome.
Yeah, like, I was rooting against her in them Sasha Banks matches, but please believe, like, I was like, hell, you can't be doing the moonsaults off the top rope and people not like you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You gonna have to, like, tone that down a little bit. Because people go, like, latch on.
Exactly.
I thought she had some good matches. But, yeah, she turned it up, and she'll be the new number one contender going into Hell in a Cell. Never forget, Carmella still has that briefcase, so she'll always be hanging around. And,
right.
You know.
Like a gnat at a barbecue.
Yeah, always be looking out for the cash in, man. I'm telling you, always be prepared. And I would tease the shit out of cash-ins. I don't understand why people who got their briefcase are not watching matches like every week. Like, you should see them in the ring. Like, yo, I can get down there like 10 minutes.
Right.
I just literally had them thinking that. Like, or, oh, wow, I can get out there real quick.
Sitting out there by commentary. Sitting there with the commentary team. Out there just talking their ear off and, you know, being so close to the action that they can reach out and touch it. not even and just waving around the briefcase in the face of the winner, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's how things should happen. That's how stuff should go.
I'd have and I mean, I wouldn't do it every week because you need to like keep some steam with it. But man, I would like have whoever got the belt need to be shook daddy that I got this briefcase.
Right.
If it's like a babyface moment, I could help somebody. Hey man, still got points to the briefcase. Like yo, just so you know. But we'll see how it all works out. And now with that, on to No Mercy. This is like the first big pay-per-view in a while. We really haven't done much since SummerSlam, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, let's get with a little No Mercy.
Right.
Keish, Neville will defend the Cruiserweight title against Enzo Amore. Are people believing Enzo? Is it his time to shine?
Nah. Like, I like Enzo, but nah. It's not. This ain't that moment.
With Enzo in the Benzo. Oh, sorry.
I mean, it could be. It could be that moment, but me personally, I don't think it is. I don't think it's his time yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't make a compelling case why he should beat Neville, right? He looks a little taller than Neville, but there's no physical imposition of why he should beat Neville. I don't know if he could go round for round in the ring with Neville. I know he could take some punishment.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, the thing that I've noticed about Enzo is that he's horrifically great at taking punishment. And it doesn't work well for me in wrestling matches because, you want to see wrestling matches go back and forth. There be some kind of struggle. There be an actual fight between the two. Enzo might be in the ring with guys his size and whatnot, but he's not putting up a fight. It's like, Enzo, are you just getting in the ring just so you can take beatings? Like, it doesn't make sense, No,
I think what it is with him, I think he is there to, like you said, take some beats. He is there to bring some personality to 205 Live. I think that division doesn't have an outsized personality like that. And I don't think they don't have anything for him at the main roster, right? Or Raw regularly, like creative just doesn't have anything for you.
Yeah, true.
Like he stay getting beat up. He got beat up by Braun on Raw, which I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too, Enzo gotta go full heel because I'm gonna tell you right now, he get beat up. I'd be like, okay, that's kind of what he get. That's how I feel when I watch him. So, yeah, yeah, that's kind of how I feel when I watch him. I'm like, I mean, yeah, you probably deserved it.
See, that's just awful, Keith. That is just awful. Like, why would he deserve it? Why would he deserve it?
Because he's annoying as hell. Annoying as all get out. And sometimes people who talk too much need to get their jaw cracked.
Sometimes. Just sometimes. Not all the time.
I mean, really?
Sometimes. Just a little bit.
Really kind of all the time. Kind of need you to have that fear that eventually that jaw can get cracked so you can not do dumb things.
Right.
But, to each his own. But yeah, so there's that. Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt. Keish. Now, this is a match where there won't be a demon. We're not going to deal with face paint.
Right.
This is either the result of no long-term booking or people who book long-term and didn't think this through.
Yeah, true.
This is the match that should have happened at pay-per-view last time.
Exactly.
And you hold the demon off for the big event. Right? But they had a useless match before the pay-per-view, before the last pay-per-view. So I don't know what to do with this. Like, do we have a goal for this? Because I don't see it right now.
I'm pretty sure there isn't one. Like, I got a good feeling that there is.
I want both of them to get something out of this because I feel like both are long-term properties that could really help the company. And I don't want to see somebody get buried. You know what I mean?
Right. That is something that you want to see, especially when you're dealing with two men of their caliber.
Right.
It just doesn't. It's not fathomable to want something like that. So it begs the question of what do you do with them to where one is not fully overshadowing the other and just completely burying them to the point where there's no recovery. You know, you like, it's a question of if these two should be wrestling in the first place. But at the end of the day, you know, I understand why it happened. I guess. I mean, I don't know. But I do agree with you that, yeah, this should have been happened at a different pay-per-view, and then Demon should have came later. If this is the order in which they're doing things, then, yeah, it should have just came later.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing here. Jason Jordan will challenge the Miz for the IC title, Keish. Who you got?
I want to say Bray. Like, this is where I'm like, it'll be Bray. Why not?
I'm going to say Miz. He's on a roll. He's had the IC title for a while, and I think Jordan would benefit from winning the belt a little bit further down the line.
But Keith, you wouldn't want to give the belt to Jason Jordan?
I do, but like I said, I think he'd benefit from it a little bit further down the line.
Well, kind of. Like, I think that, I wouldn't even mind seeing him with the belt right now. I don't think I mind. I think that I actually would like that image, that viewpoint. I think that he would do good with a singles title. Now, granted, yeah, you're right. It probably will come later rather than right now, but still. I wouldn't, if he did win the IC title right now, I would not object. I wouldn't object at all. I actually would be thoroughly pleased with that. So, I guess, that's just what it is, but I personally just would be like, okay, cool. Yay, Jason Jordan. Because I think it's time that him and Chad Gable both get a taste of what it's like to be singles competitors, like, completely. So, because of course, Jason's getting that chance. But, Jason's getting that chance. But Chad ain't. And that's just, but, I'm not going to get too far into that. I'm just going to leave it at that. I wouldn't know. No.
Right.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss will defend her world title against Sasha Banks, Nia Jax, Emma, and Bayley. If you're picking 2 of the 5, who do you think has the best shots?
2 out of the 5?
Yes.
Bayley, and you know what's crazy? Bayley and Alexa Bliss. Bayley and Alexa Bliss. I do. If I'm picking 2 out of the 5.
Okay. I will agree with that assessment. Right? Like, what? Alexa Bliss, ultimate, like, wormy heel champ. Like, I think she figures out how to get out of stuff. Ultimate slide ball. So, I can't count her out. I like Nia, but I don't know what they scared of putting the belt on Nia Jax is. Like, I don't know. Yeah, Nia. I'm with Nia as my number 2.
Well, the reason I didn't pick Nia is because I got a feeling that this is not going to be the time they decide to give her the belt. I feel like at some point they're going to have to make her a champion, you know, at some point.
Right.
But I don't feel like this is the way that she's going to win it. You know what's crazy? I feel like she's going to win her belt on Raw at some point.
Yeah.
And and then she probably will defend it at a pay-per-view or something, but it just won't be one at a pay-per-view. Which sucks because I don't want to think of Nia in that light, but I don't think that this Fatal 5-Way is the way that she wins her first title. I think it'll come later. So, yeah, I didn't put her in my number 2 for that reason. I went for the 2 people I figured would either Bayley will win the title from Alexa Bliss in this Fatal 5-Way, or Alexa Bliss will retain altogether and be stretched out to another pay-per-view. But that's how I see it.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you kind of persuaded me. Like, I could see Bayley, and like you said, Nia winning maybe on Raw. Right? I think Bayley would get a good pop. Also, we might see who's going to turn on each other. So, yeah, that'd be interesting. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose defend the tag team titles against Sheamus and Cesaro. They're not breaking up Ambrose and Rollins after day 1, right?
No, of course not. That would be retarded. Why would they do that? You know, that wouldn't make sense. Like, you're going to take away this incredible tag team after you just put them together?
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't going to work like that. It ain't going to work like that. I mean, of course not. Like, why would you? Why would you even do that even a little bit? You know? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That makes 0 sense. So,
yeah.
I think that, I mean, I obviously, with us both stating this fact, then we've already picked our winner for this. So, why not?
Right. I agree. Yeah, points. But,
What?
that being said, Rollins and Ambrose gonna walk away with these belts.
Of course they are.
And it's because they are a cohesive team. And it's too soon, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So.
Exactly.
Good. John Cena versus Roman Reigns, Keish. Who you got?
Okay, Keith. Now, I've been going back and forth with this one. because it's Cena and Roman, you know? It's Cena and Reigns, Roman and John, however you want to put it. I don't really know how to assess, you know, who's going to be the winner of this stuff. But I actually have to say I think it was going to be John Cena. I do. Like, it's funny because both dudes are equally hated. I think Roman might be a little bit more than John himself. But at the same time, like, I think John would say, I don't think, okay, let me put it like this. I don't think this is going to be a first round thing, you know? I mean, this is going to be a one-time thing. I think that this is going to be a series. This is just a start of a series of matches. So,
I almost want to say I think Roman wins because this. John is a part-timer. I don't know how long he's hanging around this round. And they really, really want Roman Reigns to be built up. But then it's still hard for me to conceive John Cena losing.
yeah,
So,
that's true.
I'm gonna go Roman Reigns just because it's the choice that I'm not gonna like.
Of course.
All right.
Like, of course they're going to do the one thing you just can't stand. Like, I'm like, no. Yeah.
Brock
I
Lesnar.
just don't see Roman.
Yeah.
I don't see Roman taking that.
Right.
Not at all.
Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, main event, Universal title. What you got on me?
Keith. Braun Strowman winning the Universal title. Do you not understand, like, how crazy that would be? Like, and yet how much it would make sense? Am I the only one that's crazy to think that? Like, yeah, that would be borderline perfect. But at the same time, like, maybe it wouldn't. Like, I know I'm tripping. But at the same time, am I really?
Right.
Like, we've seen Juan completely destroy Brock Lesnar recently. On more than one occasion. On more than one occasion. Who's the real underdog in this match? For real. And now, you know, this match is actually happening. Braun Strowman gets a Universal title shot by himself against Lesnar. I mean, how much more can this be confusing for whoever is going to take this title? I think Braun will win. I think Braun will win and take this belt from Lesnar, and then we have a totally different dynamic for Raw. At least just for right now. I might be crazy to think that, but at the same time, hey, this is why it's my opinion. So, Braun Strowman. I think the title changes hands. I think we're going to have a new Universal Champion.
I think Brock is going to pull it off in the last minute. The booking, the way it's been set up now is like there's a abominable snowman that even Brock can't stop. Generally, that guy goes over when we had a pay-per-view. So I will go with Brock. I think he's going to hit Suplex City. He's going to stick with it this time because he just do one. Because even on the 500-pound neck, Braun's going to get back up. But with
It's gonna
that,
be interesting to see.
well, that's No Mercy. Keish, anything you'd like to add? Any parting shots as we close down Ring Time Pro Wrestling?
Watch, people, if you don't watch it already, keep up with NXT. Keep up with NXT because you're going to see ladies on there that we haven't seen in a while and some new faces thanks to the Mae Young Classic. And if you don't watch 205 Live, I would say get into it. You know, just a little bit. Just a little bit. That definitely is, and it might not be this week, but next week, I know, Keith, we've discussed excuse me, we discussed me starting the recaps for both. Trust and believe, y'all gonna see more of me on the site, and I'm gonna get into both shows because I think that y'all need a little flavor when it comes to 205 Live and NXT. Like, don't worry, I'm gonna give it a spotlight that it deserves. I'm gonna give it the spotlight that it deserves. So look out for that. And y'all be good, people. Like, have fun this weekend, you know, do what you do, but watch No Mercy. Watch No Mercy, because I'm definitely gonna be watching.
But buy my record first. Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah. What she said.
Look at you.
Let's watch No Mercy. Compare our notes. See if we got it right. If we got it wrong.
Right.
And we will see y'all next week. Peace.
Bye.